Yes, we are Team Kara, and our project is to create a multilingual conversational assistant with reality augmentation for e-commerce with Gen AI enhancements. So, before we get into the project, let me start with the front-end implementation of the project. So, as you can see, we have used Next.js to build our front-end, and here is our code base, and our server is already running. So, let us get into the project. So, we wanted to create multilingual conversational assistants because any website that you go to these days, let it be, let's say, Amazon, the first thing that comes and hits your face is the amount of content that you don't require. So hence, to overcome that, we wanted to go with a simpler UI that even anyone, say a old person or a newbie who's new to tech, will be able to understand it easily and can access it easily. So on the spine ours is a e-commerce site, and so let's test it out. So we give voice input to application. Let's say I want to give microphone access. So once I allow it, I can start recording. Let's say I'm looking to buy some shirts. Can I get a shirt? So now the Whisper AI is converted the voice to text. So now I can see that I want a shirt. So now if I hit OK, the Flash server will run and it will provide me all the shirts that I have. It will have the amount details and it will have the retailer details and everything with it. So this is how the application is going to work in the front end part. And move on to the highlighting feature of our product, which is multilingual support. So to demonstrate this, I'll be using two languages, a native languages, which is Tamil, and a foreign language, which is French. Now I know Tamil, so I'll be speaking Tamil, and for French, I'll be using Google Translate. So let's get into it. எனக்கு ஷர்ட் வேண்டும். So now as you can see, the text itself is written in Tamil. So now if I hit OK, now I have got shirts. So this level of multi-language support is very useful for your users who are new to technology and who want to navigate through e-commerce sites with these. Now let me show you another example with. So for French, let us go and say that I want a shoe. Okay, let's start recording.
J'ai besoin d'une chaussure.
So as you can see, again the text is written in French itself. So once I hit OK, as you can see, I have got shoes. So this is how our application supports multi-language, and I think this is a big thing which will let users access our website more easily. And we also have retailer information. So this page is exclusive for retailers to update their this page is specific for the retailers to update their product info. Other users can easily come up here to sign in, or existing users can just log in, which in this case I am an existing user, so I'm just going to log in. Say, so if I log in, I can see that I have a few products here for me that I have hosted in this thing. So now let me go to try on the AR features of this thing. So I have here sunglasses, as you can see. Now let me try these sunglasses on. So you have to give permissions for your camera, and once the permissions are granted, it's open. And as you can see, there is sunglasses on my face. So we have included this augmented reality feature as so that users can have a better perspective of the things that they want and how it works. Let me show you another example. Say if I want a cap, so if I hit cap, so I have a cap here. So this is how the augmented reality works. So if I want to update new products, I can just go and update here with my name. Let's say a price of 566 and a color red. Category as a shirt. Size. Okay, that's not an actual size. 48 description. Red shirt. And if I want to go ahead and say upload an image, let's say this. And once I hit submit, the machine will validate this request, and once if the request is validated, the page will automatically get updated and the product will be added. So this is how the front end implementation works, and we have added a very simple user interface so that the user experience is well defined and refined so that users can access this easily without any hassle. So that's Kara, and now we'll move on to the backend part.
Hey guys, this is the Flask-based Python backend that we have hosted upon a Google Compute Engine provided by Google Cloud Platform. So basically, this is just a set of CSV data that is being iterated over by a pandas data frame, which is sent over to Llama Index to convert it into OpenAI understandable vector embeddings and vectorize them for it to query upon. So first things first, for getting the CSV data, we are using Superbase as a client service provider, over which we're going to be selecting all the products from the products table. This is going to contain information, for example, the ID, name, color, size, category, and everything and whatnot of the products. So that which is going to be converted into CSV by the string.io library, and it's going to be added into the pandas data frame that we just created right now. And next up, we have a set of instructions which I'll get to in a minute. But first things first, whatever we do, it's always a query that's going to be sent over to the database. But rather than having to rummage through the entire massive datasets that we had just provided, we could just provide the model a human understandable or rather conversational input to the pandas data frame through the OpenAI IC API. What it does, it has a set of instructions as I mentioned right here. So it synthesizes your request to the OpenAI model so that it understands human understandable requirements and needs of a product, which is going to be converted into a pandas expression string. So this expression string is going to be iterated over the data frame to get the required products, and the required products, which in this form is an ID, is going to be sent over to the response, and it's going to be sent over to the front end, which is going to be another human readable format from the verbose data frame response, and it's going to be converted into a simpler, more conversational output. So first things first, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be a query input, right? So the query input is going to be passed by JSON and it's going to be sent over to the OpenAI's API, which follows the first instruction set, that is understanding the query. And number two is going to be converting into a pandas request. And number three, the requested pandas is going to be returning a data, which is going to be sent over to instruction number three to generate a suitable response. And number two we have here is adding data into the pandas data frame. So this is going to be a function for the retailers, which is going to be abstracted by signing up and logging in for the retailers, which we'll get to in a minute. So, but for now, let's look at over the categories of the data that we're going to be iterating over to be added into the pandas data frame and also to the Superbase client. So firstly, in a runtime, we have a pandas data frame, which is going to be adding the products details, field details, for example, a category, color, size, etc. It's going to be adding the link of the image that we get in form of base64, which is going to be converted into an image blob and added to the Superbase bucket over the product image bucket. It's going to be updating if it's present, or it's going to be uploading a new one. So this is the public image URL that we're going to be getting for the pandas products component. And now once it is added into the pandas data frame for the runtime, it is also going to be added to the Superbase client. Why, you might ask? So well, once we restart the server, this data is going to be passed freshly into the pandas data frame once again. So this means that whatever it's done in the retailer's front end, that is adding products and stuff, it's going to be instantly reflected either on both on the pandas data frame and also on the Superbase backend. So that it's always an instantaneous process. And now data is added successfully. And next up is a sign up method. For creating a new user, it's always going to be requested for email, name, password, and location, which is going to be added to the retailers table over Superbase. And now once that is added, sign up is going to be successful. And if not, it's either going to be an email that is not a unique identifier. And next up, we have the login function for retailer-based abstraction. If we have a user that is provided the correct email and its corresponding password is correct, it's going to be returning a flag and a set of data for the front end to work upon. If not, it's going to return a string. That is an error. So that is pretty much what we have in the backend running. Remember, it's four main processes: querying, adding data, login, and sign up. And then the query is going to be sent over to these three instructions to get up a set of instructions that is understandable by pandas, and the response data is going to be sent over to OpenAI's API so that it can be iterated upon and sent as a conversational output. So yeah, that's pretty much the working of the data frame of this backend. Thank you.